it's a good day for an arcade stick review as well. Earlier in the week, I think it might have actually been last week. I think it was last week. Last week, I got this puppy. I got the Hori Fighting Stick Mini. And I've used it a good few times. I took it to work with me for like 4 days because I always take my laptop with me. So if I want to play fighting games while I'm at work, just like mess around in training mode or do some like casual matches in Tekken or Street Fighter, brought it with me. This is just the box. It's already out of the box. I just still had, it's so small. It's like easy to just keep for the sake of waiting for the review. And here's the product. Super tiny, very small, very cute. I have some choice words. I have a few things to say. So I think the first thing I want to get into is size. I want to get into the size and if I think that is a good or a bad thing. So I will say now, playing on this, on the smallest arcade stick I've ever played on, I had no real issues getting any of the things I was trying to do. Quarter circles, down back, up forward for like hop kicks and orbitals, things like that. Combo sequences, running moves, never really an issue at all. Everything came out pretty much the same way it would have came out on a regular stick. For me, right? I don't know if it would work the same way for everyone else, but it did for me. And I think that for the price is already really good. Because of that, I can then say who I think this stick is for. Because I don't think this stick is for everyone. And that's not something you really want in a product. Generally, you want your product to like basically encompass everyone who likes the medium, right? Anyone who likes arcade sticks doesn't mean that they'll like this stick. So I think that this stick is for a certain subset of people. Generally 2 people. Those people being people who are very new to fighting games or very new to arcade stick when it comes to fighting games and want to try something for as cheap as possible. And if it works, they either give it away or keep it and buy something else as an upgrade, right? Like you buy this, you like it, but you're like, well, I want something bigger. I want something customizable that I can then make my own and make feel like a premium experience. You move on to something like the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha, which is somewhere on one of these shelves behind me. You move on to the Big Pro, which is right behind me, or the Hori Fighting Edge, right? Or any model, the Combo Obsidian 2, the Titan, any stick that's going to be bigger than this. Or the other option, and I thought about it after using the stick for those 3 or 4 days in my backpack and like using it while I was at work. I didn't take it to locals because I didn't go to locals last weekend, but this seems like the perfect like travel stick. If you are comfortable on it and it does everything you need it to do, then this seems like a great stick for travel because of the fact that it's so small and lightweight. It's very like it's hard plastics, but it doesn't feel useless. Like it doesn't feel like a toy, but it's not super heavy. You can definitely put this in like a backpack or even like a carry-on for a flight and you'll have like no issues because 1, it looks like a toy, so no one's going to question it. 2, it's so lightweight that it's not going to take up a bunch of space or be very cumbersome to have around, which I think is nice. And those are the only real 2 people that need this stick. The third is very niche. It's if you need a player 2 stick. Like, oh, you know, I have friends come over sometimes. You know, I'm a middle-aged guy or I'm a late 20s guy. And I have a friend come over every now and then that I play fighting games with, and he never brings a stick. He always fucking forgets to bring a stick. This is like the option. It's like, dude, you forgot to bring your stick. You're playing on the fucking mini. Get over it, right? And maybe that'll make them bring their stick more frequently, or maybe they'll just get used to playing on the mini and order their own too, which would make Hori more money. Now, this is basically the same chassis as the PS4 version, just white. There's basically no difference. When it comes to customizability, I'll tell you now, I've opened this thing up. Everything is soldered. Everything. From the buttons to the joystick, to the wire, everything is soldered. You are not changing something out in here easily. Generally, you're only going to change something out if you absolutely have to. And on the topic of opening this, these screws on the back, there's 8 screws. None of them have like a warranty sticker, which I've been told that doesn't matter anyway. They still have to like buy you the warranty or whatever, or whatever. They still have to take the warranty, and even if you've, you know, broken an anti-tamper warranty seal, which is cool. There isn't one in any of these screws. There's 4 little rubber stoppers on the back, and they probably work great on the table. Didn't work very well on the lap, I'll tell you that right now. This also really isn't a lap stick. It's really, really small. It's better off on a desk. But on the inside, these screws are not reinforced by anything. These 6 screws. So if you're taking out parts or resoldering parts or doing any sort of modifications, you're more than likely only going to be able to do it a couple times before these screws strip out the holes and you can't close the back properly anymore. So be very, very careful. There's one thing, customizability wise, that I thought was really cool that it's kind of not intended to be able to do, I don't think, but I did it and it worked. This shaft, because there's no shaft cover on it, if you get yourself like a nice little microfiber cloth and you get a pair of pliers, you can actually pull off the ball top, right? You can spin it and pull off the ball top. This may take a second. Ball top is off, and then you can put on a bat top if you want, right? And I had the bat top on for a few days. This bat top is like almost the same price as the stick. Just kidding. It's like $10. The stick's like $50. So it's like a fifth of the price of the stick. So I don't want to leave it on there, but it was just something I had thought about and something that's really cool. And it just takes like two tools. You just need a microfiber cloth so you don't scuff up the shaft. This is no shaft cover, and a pair of pliers. Nothing too crazy there, very simple. That's probably the most amount of modability you're going to do to a stick like this outside of like skins, and I think there's websites where they sell skins for this stick. I like it. I don't dislike it. I'm not like a super fan of this stick, but I will say the market niche is good. I'm glad that this stick exists because there was nothing on the low end under $100 truly for next generation PS5 and Xbox Series, right? There still isn't an Xbox Series stick, so your best bet is going to be the 8-bit though Xbox stick or any previous generation Xbox One arcade stick on Series S, because I believe they also work on Series S and X. But if you're looking for the cheapest PS5 arcade stick, this is going to be your best bet. It's small, it's all proprietary, but it's under $100 and it gets you into the door of trying arcade stick as cheap as possible. That is invaluable. That is something that you cannot put a dollar amount on if you're just looking to get into the medium. Sometimes if you want to try it and you're skeptical, you just got to hold that L, because a lot of those bigger sticks, it's really hard for them to keep their value and for you to resell them. And if they're really big and cumbersome, you might not want to keep them around and you might just end up giving it away. Like, oh, dude, I don't need this stick. It's taking up too much space. I don't even play fighting games as much as I thought I was going to. I don't really like stick as much as I thought I was going to. This is so small. This you can come back to it and be like, I'll try it again in 3 or 4 months, right? And if the parts are still working on it, boom, you're all good to try it all over again, which is nice. So this is a really cool stepping stone. It's a nice player 2 stick. It's a nice little brother, little cousin, little sister stick. Child, niece, nephew stick. It's also really good for potentially taking the board out of it. If you want to be a super tech savvy person, you could even maybe take the board out of this stick and make yourself a native PS5 stick using this board. So you basically paid $60 for a PS5 compatible board with very limited functionality, right? It's not going to have touchpad. Doesn't look like it's not going to have, can't remember what other button is. So we have, up at the top, we have the PlayStation button, both of the function buttons. So share, and I think it's options and share. And then we have L3, R3, and then your slider, right? So if you can keep all these functioning and take this board and put it into a different stick, you're not missing much, right? You're missing like the touchpad functionality and like a headphone jack or something. But for just a board that you can rip out and then attach to some buttons and create a PS5 arcade stick that's custom, but runs on this board and will just be registered and working at any tournament, on your computer just fine, because it has the the X input slider when you go over to the PC version or PC mode. Right? That's one little extra use that a lot of people maybe don't think about when it comes to cheap arcade sticks like this. You can just like take the guts of this and like dump them into a bigger chassis, a bigger case, and create something of your own if you have the modding skills to do so, right? I'm not a modder like that. I don't plan on doing any crazy soldering work to this thing. When this thing goes out, it goes out. Might even give it away. I'm not sure. I might keep it around as like a second player stick, like I said, but this is a very solid arcade stick for the price. It is very proprietary, but it's nice enough at entry level that I don't think that I will say that it's complete garbage, right? This isn't going to get used and then have a tough time reselling it. This is going to get used. You get your money out of it and you give it away or you throw it away. And that sounds really bad when it comes to value, but the price tag on it is so much lower than anything else on the market. And that's a big, big help for why I kind of enjoy this arcade stick for as much as I do, right? It's not in my favorite arcade sticks of all time. None of the minis have been, but with the increase of cost in PS5 hardware, when it comes to the controllers and the custom arcade sticks, and even off the shelf arcade sticks being so much higher. This is a boon for people who want to try to get into fighting games on an arcade stick, or get a stick for a family member, a friend, a younger brother, sister, cousin, whatever, right? I don't have too much more to say about that stick. It's as simple as it can get, and you're either going to like it or you're not going to like it. I respect its place in the market. I can understand why some people don't. But I think those people are generally snobs and just want this stick to be greater value than it is, when the Combo Drone 2 is 3 times its price and is not amazing value, right? Tell me how you feel in the comment section down below about the Hori Fighting Stick Mini, the PS5, its price, its compatibility, its size, anything about it. Tell me about it. Tell me if you're thinking about getting one for someone else. If you don't like this product at all, leave it in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel. Hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers eventually. That'd be tight. Like the video too. That helps the algorithm or something. I just put out like a tier list video and has a bunch of views, which is crazy. I'm not used to like 1,000 views on anything I post. Anyways, it's been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTubes, talking about the Hori Fighting Stick Mini in review, signing out and saying peace.